Hi YouTube, I'm back with another video. Today is day 3 of week 3 and today we are cooking lunch, and for lunch we will have brown rice and peanut lettuce wraps. Let's look at our ingredients. This recipe serves 2 people. I will only make it for me, so I will cut the ingredients in half. Apart from the olive oil, I'm not cutting my olive oil in half. So what do we need? We need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 leek, the green part. Like I said, just use half a cup or 3/4 of a cup or 1/4 cup of the leeks. I usually use a 1/4 cup of the leeks. That's enough for me. 3 ounces of extra firm tofu cut into 1/4 inch cubes. I don't have tofu, so what I'm going to substitute the tofu with is crab sticks. So the crab sticks I've cut into cubes like that, because crab sticks are nice and firm, and that's the only thing to me that's the closest to tofu or what looks like tofu. So we're gonna have that. You're gonna have 1.5 cups of cooked brown rice. Seeing that it's only for me, I'm only going to use a 3/4 cup of brown rice. 2 tablespoons of crunchy peanut butter. I don't have crunchy peanut butter, I only have the smooth one, so that will do. 1 tablespoon of grated fresh ginger, a 1/4 cup of simple vegetable broth, and half a teaspoon of sea salt. So of course your broth, you need to have your broth already. You need to have cooked your rice already. And if you follow the recipes, of course you would have these things already, because the recipes call for rice, it calls for broth all the time. So you need to make these things in advance. You also need 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro and 4 large lettuce leaves. So I have iceberg lettuce and I will use that. So here's our pan. Let's turn that on. Then we want to add our olive oil, which is 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna probably, I always use more olive oil. So you heat that up. Excuse me, then you can add your leeks. I'm first gonna cook my leeks a little bit, just for a minute or so. And make sure you only use the green part of the leek. Once you can smell an onion taste, sorry, not the onion taste, the onion smell, you know you have gone way too far. You do not want the part that smells like onions, because that would be adding gas and acidity to your diet. So you don't want that. That's why she explicitly ask us to only use the green part of the leek. Believe you, if you have acid reflux, if you have a lot of gas and bloat, you will immediately have a reaction to the non-green part of the leeks, and you will be suffering. You will be burping all the time. It's not great. Believe me, I have experienced that, and no thank you. So there we have it. That's our leeks. Then we want our tofu. Add your tofu in, which is in my case, what is it? The crab sticks. I'm gonna turn my heat down now to medium high, and I'll just see if I can brown the crab sticks a little bit. Now we're gonna add our rice. We're gonna add our ginger, just a tablespoon. Our salt, just a little. Broth. You're also going to need your tablespoon. Is it a tablespoon of peanut butter? 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So we need 2 tablespoons, which is basically just one that I should use. I'm going to use 1.5 or a quarter, 1.25 tablespoons. Now we need our broth. How much do we need? Quarter cup. And we're just going to stir these guys. I have to add a little bit more broth. I can definitely see why the tofu, why it needs to be tofu, because tofu, extra firm tofu, it doesn't fall apart, it stays firm. With the crab sticks, it falls apart and it makes it very difficult for us to now stir the mixture so that our peanut butter can melt. And that's why I had to add a little bit more broth so that I can thin that peanut butter. But in this case, if I knew what's going to happen, I would have made my peanut butter sauce separately as we usually do, and then add the ingredients to it. But lesson learned. We live and we learn. See, this peanut butter is not even thinning, even though I added more broth. It's not pretty at all. So I'm gonna have to add more broth so that my peanut butter can thin. So this is now my 3rd cup of broth. Quarter cup, not 3rd cup. It's very difficult to thin the peanut butter. It's okay. It's all going to go to the same channels. And now you add your cilantro. That's the last. So guys, as you can see, we are now done. And the mixture looks like this. And we're going to taste our lunch now. I hope it tastes good at least. Here's my lettuce wraps. The wraps with this. I've made this so many times, but obviously not with this filling. I would make it with eggs, with anything. I love this. I would say you can probably get 3 servings out of here. It's very difficult to get these apart without breaking them. This is by far the biggest meal that I've had in this whole series so far. I have 3 lettuce wraps. Okay, let's give it a taste now. So all we're going to do, you're just going to fold it or roll it. I am just going to have it like this. Just fold it close. I'll have to take another bite because that was a lot of lettuce. This is really delicious and it's very tasty. The peanut butter sauce, once again, that ginger and the cilantro with the peanut butter, it comes through so vividly. The taste is incredible. I love this peanut butter sauce with the ginger and the cilantro. We didn't add lemon zest, right? But it's so simple but so tasty. You should definitely try it. This is my new thing. Not the wrap, but the peanut butter sauce itself. You don't need cheese. Who needs cheese if you can make a peanut butter ginger sauce? That tastes better than cheese. Like, honestly, just try it. So this is really delicious. Thank you for watching. Share, subscribe, like, and enjoy. Hi YouTube, I am back with the dinner portion of day 3, week 3, and for dinner we have roasted lamb chops with chimichurri. I did not look up the pronunciation of this word, but I think it's chimichurri. So what do we need? We need 4 lamb chops, half a teaspoon of sea salt, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and half a cup of oregano and parsley chimichurri. So first let's make this parsley chimichurri. So we need a quarter cup of chopped fresh oregano. I do not have fresh oregano, but I have the dried ones. A quarter cup of chopped fresh parsley, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of grated lemon zest, half a teaspoon of sea salt. And all the ingredients, we're just going to put it in a food processor or blender, and you're going to pulse it 20 times so that the herbs are well chopped and probably stick together. Well, I'm not going to put mine in my blender, otherwise I still have to clean a blender. I just chopped mine finely, and the olive oil will obviously make it stick to each other. So let's start with that. So on my plate I have my lemon zest, and now I'm going to add my other ingredients such as my oregano, my parsley, half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to mix them all together. You would probably get a finer mixture if you put it in your blender or in your food processor. It would be really fine, but I really don't care for it because I'm not going to still wash a blender. So that's good. We can further mix it in with our hands. So that's the parsley chimichurri. Our lamb chops, teaspoon of salt. So here are our chops. We have 2, 4, 6 small chops. This is for both me and my husband. So I would probably have 2 and he will take the 4. It's beautiful chops. So now all I have to do is season these with my salt. And as you know, his I always season more. Then mine also on the other side. So as you can see here, my pan is going, my chops are going in. I'm gonna sear these chops for 3 minutes, and after that, I will transfer it to this oven pan and stick it in the oven for another 6 minutes. So let's sear this on high. And this is our parsley chimichurri. And this, you put it on your chops once your chops is done when you serve it. So this is not going on your chops after it's seared or when it goes in the oven, but when you serve it. So you ought to sear it 3 minutes on each side. Okay, so the chops are now seared on both sides. It's nice and brown. That's what you want. Now we're going to transfer to our baking sheet and to our baking pan, and we're going to put it in the oven for another 6 minutes. I can show you here. Nice, nice. So that's what you want. So that's going to be served with some steamed carrots, but we don't have carrots, so I'm just making a sweet potato in the oven, and we're going to serve it with that. And for a starch, we will have mashed potatoes with it. So that's it for dinner. I will come back to you with the final result of dinner. Till then. Hi guys, so this is the final result of our lamb chops and parsley chimichurri. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. We are not going to taste it for you now. What I ended up doing is putting the oregano parsley chimichurri on top of the lamb chops, and then I put it back in the oven just for 2 minutes so that the parsley chimichurri can cook through on the lamb chops. So hopefully it tastes great, or it tastes even better. So that is the final result for dinner tonight. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and try out the recipe, and let me know if you have learned something new and how this is working for your gut.